Hello everybody, Glitch Reaper here again. I'm back for another vlog. Just gonna make a couple of announcements and a few things. One of which is PAX is coming up. It's a humongous video game convention, and it's gonna have a lot of events, including some streams and stuff that not only me but a lot of people will probably want to watch. So whenever PAX weekend is around, I have no idea how available I'm gonna be for doing things. It's gonna be one of those things where I might be sequestered about as much as I have in the past whenever I was in the middle of a marathon. But even then, sometimes with those things, I was still able to do some stuff. So we'll see how that comes up. Another thing, I'm still working on my Skyblock pack idea. Uh, well, Skyblock series idea, but the same thing. Anyhow, I'm still doing a lot of tweaking, and that's something I've been working on in the background for a while, uh, with some interesting mixed results. It's always weird whenever you can get entities from only one mod having lag and everything else working fine. That's when you kind of gotta ponder things. That's just being like one little issue I've been working with. But yeah, I've been tweaking things in and out, trying to figure out various combinations, see if certain things work, and if I need to readjust starting conditions a little, because it's going to be considerably different than most other Skyblocks, because it's going to be formatted really differently, like really oddly. Like it's hard for I think it'd be pretty hard for anybody to make the logical leap of what in the world I'm doing until I say what I'm doing with it, and they're going, "Okay, that's a different approach." But yeah, the whole thing has quite a background story. I'll probably be announcing whenever I finally get to the first episode. But of course, I'll have to figure out how to get the pack to work uh, satisfactory as I'd like first. So that's going to take some adjustment. That and starting world conditions and things like that. So it's going to be a bit different. And even the fact that I'm having starting world conditions other than I'm starting on a sky island with a tree is probably telling you how different it is, because there's not many sky blocks I've seen where that's not the start. So yeah, yeah. Keep pondering. This is one time I really do want to do a mysterious big reveal on the moment if I can pull it off, because it's just gonna be like, why have we not thought of this before? Yeah, which might get to even more theory crafting on everybody's part, which I will thoroughly enjoy, and I will admit if somebody gets it right. And that dolphin never got to play with that nether star this time. He just barely touched it and then hopped out. Poor dolphin. Anyhow, as I was saying, so it's mainly between that and the whole pack situation. I do have my Atomic Resurgence 2 relaunch now because, well, stuff happened. But the background on that is every time I tried using a backup file, I just couldn't seem to find a reversion of the pack or something I could do or tweak that would keep things from getting rapidly recorrupted. So it was one of these things where, well, it wasn't like completely unplayable corrupted. It was like weird corrupted. Like, remember whenever I had to terminate my Magic and Mythos series due to blocks going crazy? It was basically that in 1.12.2. So same story, that stuff was getting replaced and weird, and some things were causing a lot more lag than others due to their new appearance. Like whenever you get a lot of flowing liquids and it's not just a nice calm ocean, sometimes things can go a little weird. So again, it's hard to fully describe the craziness that was happening behind the scenes there and why I was realizing that wasn't exactly viable. So yeah, things happened, and I decided, it might be better to start with a fresh world, and that way I can add a few mods that would go good with this, and kind of get them all to work together better in the next round. So I just decided to start things off fresh slate. And additionally, there's also the thought that maybe I could finally have a 2.0 version of the pack in the future, once I'm confident that things are working fine together again. Uh, which is of course active play. So again, you may or may not wind up being there the moment I find out that something has gone terribly wrong. So that can happen. But this is what happens when you tend to like playing with a lot of mods and be a little bit braver than most in terms of what all you try shoving together. Is sometimes you get some interesting things to happen and you wind up doing a lot of error reporting and or troubleshooting. So stuff can go really wrong really fast, but they can also go really right and really beautifully together. Like I really want uh, my packs to work out where they kind of go for the kind of purpose that I wanted for them. Like for Thumb Resurgence 2, just a lot of things that work together with Thumbcraft and a lot more Thumbcraft content. So I really want to finally just fully go through with exploring a generation of Thumbcraft for a change and not having other things kind of in the head beforehand. Whereas I want to go all out with it for a change, and I want a lot of things to be able to work with it, or at least have the minimal integration of aspects, obviously. But just things that kind of draw you in, like, ooh, this has cross-mod content, this has cross-mod content, this is an add-on. No, there's just anything that's kind of casually connected and just see where it goes. That was kind of the idea. And that also includes Lycanized mobs, and the idea is he does want to do kind of a bit more over time with it, although that might be a little weird now that Thaumcraft itself has kind of stopped being made by Asinor and gone open. Well, I think somebody else is maintaining it now. I don't think it's technically open source. But anyhow, like Knight decided to have kind of a Thaumcraft inspired system where different creatures had different aspects, and and a lot of them are in fact scannable. So, and originally he had integration handled differently that way, but he put in a little bit of that himself. But the thing is that he was going to expand that more over time, and then of course Thaumcraft decided to go out. That kind of threw off his mood for improving that, but I'm still going to stick with it because, again, a lot of them are like living aspects now, like elementals represent some of the basic things in Thaumcraft, like order and fire, obviously, and things like void and light and other things that you'd normally compound from Thaumcraft. Though with a different mixing mechanic when it comes down to it, because as creatures fuse, you don't always get the aspect that you'd expect to come out for combining things in Thaumcraft, so it's kind of a bit like the difference between mixing colors of paint and mixing colors of light. You get different results depending on which method you're using. So it's kind of like positive and deconstructive interference. So you're getting different kinds of color mixing. Well, you're getting the same thing with there. You're getting different aspects of aspect mixing. Yes, darn lips. Aspect mixing. So, and there's other things that are magical that kind of go with Thaumcraft and improve the experience. So I've kind of put a lot of things together there. And I'd like to be kind of just a really super magical pack and kind of get the feel for it. And I'd had some earlier encounters with stuff in it that kind of made things have a different flavor than they do now that I've been swapping it up. So I think the relaunch is kind of a good idea. And I think I'll still eventually be able to go through all the Thaumcraft craziness I was intending to. And as for going back to the whole PAX thing, anybody else gonna go stream crazy? I know I am. And oh my gosh, there's a drowned that happened to pop out, and it wants me to show off what it's like to use Trident. There we go, in one of my blogs. So he kind of come in for an interesting reason. It's like, hey, you have a Trident, why not use it? I'm like, okay, fair enough. Anyhow, that weird interruption, I'll be logging off because I think I've said everything I want to about, mainly about like packs and my mod pack and stuff like that. And for that matter, the other one kind of being worked on, which again, technical issues. So I'll get there eventually. For now, this is Glitch Reaper. I'll be logging off. Hope to hear from y'all later. And remember, join the parrot party. Yeah, I'm not entirely confident I can always get this panda to party with us. Because, for one thing, the panda may munch cake, but he does not dance. So, parrots, you're still the feature presentation for parties. Okay, so, yeah, that's still a thing. So, parrot party! Yeah!